Yes, guys. So, good morning. We'll start with geography's rapid revision. Because unlike other subjects, geography do not have current affairs based aspects. Even if they ask you current affairs, it would be from static part itself. But 8 to 10 questions we can easily predict from where they are asking. Every year, same areas they are asking some questions. So based on that, we'll try to go with the subject. Fine. So the first most important aspect from where almost 40% of the questions come is climatology. And within climatology, from last 15 years, mandatorily one question is there on rotation and revolution. In one form or the other form, always there is question on rotation and revolution. So here I'll try to tell everything with respect to rotation and revolution, not just like where it revolves and all. How temperature is affected, where rainfall is affected, all those we'll see. Now first, the first aspect is Earth is not straight, but Earth is tilted. So what is the tilt of the Earth? This is 90 degree north, 90 degree south, right? So what will be this? 23.5 degree. This is 66.5 degree. So what is this particular aspect? Earth is tilted at 23.5 degree to vertical axis, and it is tilted at 66.5 to horizontal axis. Fine. Second, this numbers it must be clear to you. Earth is tilted at 23.5 to vertical, 66.5 to horizontal, and then 90 minus 23.5 is your Arctic Circle. 90 minus 23.5 is Antarctic Circle. Okay, so now Arctic Circle to Antarctic Circle. Arctic Circle to Antarctic Circle. Day and night is due to rotation of the Earth. Okay, Arctic Circle to Antarctic Circle, day and night is due to rotation of the Earth, and day and night time is how much? 24 hours. Beyond Arctic Circle, below Antarctic Circle, day and night is due to revolution of the Earth in tilted axis. You might have heard 1 year of day and night in North Pole, 1 year of day and night in the South Pole. That means 1 year means revolution. So revolution when we are taking, you see, from 66.5 degree north to 66.5 degree south, day and night is due to rotation of the Earth. Greater than 66.5 degree north, less than 66.5 degree south, you will normally have revolution of Earth, not in elliptical orbit, but in tilted axis. So already they have asked once. Day and night is due to what? Day and night is due to rotation of the earth and revolution of the earth in tilted axis. It has nothing to do with revolution in elliptical orbit. Okay. So this is one. Second, okay. So shall I move? Shall I? Okay. They see here. If I am the sun, this is the position of the earth on March 21st. Okay. March 21st, earth will be like this. Sun's rays will fall exactly over equator. If sun's rays falls exactly over equator, what is going to happen? You will have equinox. So guys, which is the date? March 21st. We will have equinox. Prelims question. Chaitra 1 is celebrated on which day? March 21st. Okay. March 21st is Indian calendar Chaitra 1 beginning. Okay. So after this, as earth comes, what is the meaning of equinox? Equal day and night. That means entire earth will have 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. After this, it will come here. So when you have June 21st, okay, most repeated question is June 21st. From last 10 years, in one form or the other form, they have asked June 21st. Please see here, it was like this, it came like this. Okay, even in exam when you get confused, you can actually take the bottle and search, see once. Okay, so now you tell me, if it is like this, can we say equator has gone down? Right? As equator has gone down, sun's rays will fall exactly over which region? Tropic of Cancer. So on June 21st, sun's rays will fall exactly on Tropic of Cancer. Please see here. This is equator. Okay. One point about equator. Equator is seasonless region. Okay. Equator is seasonless region. Why? Because it has, see, nowadays you have statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. So earlier we used to just study why. Okay. What is there? But now you should know reasons. Why equator is seasonless? Because throughout the year, equator will have 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. Okay. Summer season, winter season, equinox, any time of the year you take, equator will always have how much? 12 hours of day, 12 hours of night. Why? Because equator is great circle. Area is more. To cover that area, it will take 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. This is the reason, even when earth is tilted, equator will not have change in day and night timing. Okay. Equator will never have change in day and night timing. Second, can you all see here? This is June 21st. What is visible to you and what is not visible to you? North pole is visible to you. South pole is not visible to you. Now you see, 24 hours North pole is visible to you. 24 hours South pole is not visible to you. Can I say sunset doesn't occur in the North pole? Sunrise doesn't occur in the South pole. This was prelims question. On June 21st, sunset doesn't occur in which region? Is prelims question. Are you getting the point? Where you will not have sunset? North pole. Okay, now equator, what did I tell? 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. North pole, what did you see? 24 hours of day and 0 night. Do you agree? Yes. Now what was last year question, 2025 prelims question? June 21st. Take day and night. Equator, 30 degree north, 60 degree north, 90 degree north. Equator, what did we see? 12 hours and 12 hours. Poles, North Pole, what did we see? 24 hour, 0 hour. Now you check from equator to pole. Can you see? Day length is increasing. 12 becomes 14, 16 hours, 10 hours, 8 hours. Night length keeps decreasing, day length keeps increasing. What is 2025 prelims question? They asked on June 21st, which of the following latitudes will have day more than 12 hours? Are you getting the point? Which of the following latitudes will have day length more than 12 hours? Options: 30 degree south, equator, 30 degree north, 60 degree north. You have to choose one, only 2, only 3, only 4. Now you tell 30 degrees south, southern hemisphere. Can I say winter? Winter means, can I say it will be less than 12 hours? Yes. Equator, always how much? 12 and 12. 30 degree north you have 14 hours. 60 degree north you have 16 hours. That means options were 30 degree north and 60 degree north. This is there in 11th standard NCERT book. Okay. So I'm just trying to tell, this is asked in a different way in questions. This year they may ask in a different way. Try this. Thiruvananthapuram, Mumbai, Delhi, Srinagar. Okay. Thiruvananthapuram, Mumbai, Delhi, Srinagar. On June 21st, which of the following places will have maximum day? Where will you have? Thiruvananthapuram. Okay. Thiruvananthapuram is closer to equator. Equator will have 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. Yeah, please. 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. What about Srinagar? So, whenever you go away from equator, day length increases. Are you getting the point? As you move away from equator, day length increases. So, we are talking about which day? June 21st. Okay. The answer would have been correct if it is December 22nd. Right? So, you get this? You understood the box? Yes. So, what are the words for June 21st? Beyond Arctic Circle. Beyond Arctic Circle. Sunset is not observed. Below Antarctic Circle, what is not observed? Sunrise is not observed. And as you have unequal day and night, it is called summer solstice. Another most important one. India has longest day and shortest night on June 21st. Two times they have asked this. India has longest day. Fine. No. This is mostly summer solstice. What would be the situation here? September 22nd or 23rd? What do you have? Equinox. Again. And then December 22nd or 23rd, there will be winter solstice. Winter solstice. Can you try now? What would be the time? December 22nd or 23rd? Equator. Equator, I told you. What is the case with equator? Always 12 hours. Can we say near North Pole it will be 0? 24. That means it decreases. Beyond Arctic, sunrise is not observed. Below Antarctic, sunset is not observed. Then guys, what about India? Shortest day. In this case, Thiruvananthapuram will have longest day. Place closer to equator will have longest day. Correct? As we move away, what is going to happen? Day length keeps on decreasing. In India, you take the case now, Thiruvananthapuram is closer to equator. Their day length will be more. As you move away from equator, it reduces. Okay? Next. Yes. Can you tell me summer season? Land and water. Winter season. Land and water. Can you tell which one gets heated, which one will take time? Summer, land will be hot, water will be cooler. Winter, land will be cold, water will be little hot. Okay. Based on this, they have given questions last year also with respect to isotherms. You might have heard isotherms based questions are there, right? So, is this fine? Now, summer in the northern hemisphere, winter in the southern hemisphere. Everyone see here, these are all dotted lines. Each dotted line indicates a place. Okay, now you say, summer season, land will be hot compared to surrounding water body. Everyone, land is hot compared to surrounding water body. As we go from equator to poles, what is going to happen? Temperature decreases. So 30 becomes 25 degree, 25 becomes 20 degree. Here 25 becomes 20 degree and 15 degrees Celsius. Now, please see. Okay. Can you see? Isotherms are moving. Which side? North or south? North. Pole or equator? Pole. North. Normally in prelims they are asking because NCERT uses north and south only. Okay. When it is drawn from sea to land, can you see it is moving north? Which month are we talking about? Summer. Summer? June 21st is the date. But according to what we call elliptical orbit, Earth is closer to the Sun and Earth is far from the Sun based on not June 21st and December 22nd, it is on July and Jan. So normally examiners will ask you the date of July. On July 4th or 5th. Please understand, July 4th or 5th is equal to June 21st. Okay, don't get confused. It is closer to June. So you should go on the basis of June 21st. What is June 21st? Summer in the northern hemisphere, winter in the southern hemisphere. Now, you see here guys, everyone, you have this winter season. Can I say land is cooler, water is hotter. As I go from equator to pole, what is happening? 10 degree, 25, 20, 15 degree, 25, 20, 15 degree. Now, please see here, 20, both the hemispheres. Can you see sea to land? Is it northward? Both the hemispheres, land to sea, is it southward? Yes, this was last year question. Okay, last year BRAHMASTRA also we told, exam you deriving might not be so easy. 1 day or 2 days before exam, just have this with you. Like, what is it? Summer. it would be like this, both sides. Winter, can I say winter solstice? It would be exactly opposite. It would become like this. I'll show how it becomes. But do you get this? This is what they ask when it comes to this particular point. Okay, so you make note of this. You just write a line there. On July 4th or 5th, on July 4th or 5th, isotherms shift northward when drawn from sea to land, and southward when drawn from land to sea. Now if we take winter in the northern hemisphere, summer in the southern hemisphere, Jan 4th or 5th, can you tell me what is going to happen if you have winter in the northern hemisphere? Land will be cooler, water will be hot. I told you, exactly opposite you'll have. So my suggestion is, remember one. Okay, remember one. Based on that you derive the other one. Okay. Else, if you want to get to know how it is, then it is this point. Land will be hotter, This is the case. Below, you write on Jan 4th or 5th, on Jan 4th or 5th, isotherms shift southward when drawn from sea to land, and northward when drawn from land to sea. Now, what is the line from the book? You see here. Northern hemisphere land is more. Because of this, isotherms will zigzag a lot. Southern hemisphere oceans are more. So, isotherms are almost straight. Why isotherms are almost straight in southern hemisphere? Why not in the northern hemisphere? Distribution of land and water. Land is more in the northern hemisphere, water is more in the southern hemisphere. Are you getting the point? So you write that isotherms are almost straight in the southern hemisphere because water is more. This last one. Can you tell me revolution in elliptical orbit? What is the impact? Revolution of Earth in elliptical orbit. What will be the impact? What happens because of that? Yes? Season is because of what? Revolution of the Earth in tilted axis. Season is because of tilted axis. What is the use of elliptical orbit? What happens because of elliptical orbit? Okay, you see? You might have heard of the terms like aphelion, perihelion. Yes. This particular position will be perihelion. This will be aphelion. Earth will be like this. This is Jan 4th or 5th, July 4th or 5th. Northern hemisphere has summer, southern hemisphere has winter. Here, northern hemisphere has winter, southern hemisphere has summer. So, irrespective of elliptical orbit, seasons will be there. Now, what is the impact of the elliptical orbit? Can I say summer season, Earth is closer to the sun? If Earth is closer to the sun in summer season, can I say temperature of the Earth increases? So, summer will be severe. Whereas in the northern hemisphere, as Earth is far from the sun, it will be mild. Okay? You talk about winter. In winter, if I am closer to the sun, can I say it will be mild cold? Winter, if I am very far, it would be severe cold. So what is the impact of elliptical orbit? Overall temperature during summer and winter either increases or decreases. Northern hemisphere will have mild winter and mild summer. Southern hemisphere will have severe summer and severe winter. What is the reason for this? Revolution of the earth in elliptical orbit. Okay, rotation of the earth, what does it do? What are all the factors associated with rotation of the earth? 1. Coriolis force, day and night. Day and night from where to where? 66.5 to 66.5. Beyond 66.5 and below 66.5, day and night is due to revolution of the earth in tilted axis. Seasons are because of what? Revolution of the earth in tilted axis. Length of day and night varies from equator to poles because of tilt of the earth in elliptical, tilt of the earth. If tilt was not there, if earth was straight, everywhere it would have been 24 hours throughout. Are you getting the point? So because of revolution, these words, you can just write those words. You drew this. If it's done, below this you write one line first. Due to revolution in elliptical orbit, summer and winter will be mild in the northern hemisphere, and severe in southern hemisphere. Below this, you write rotation of the earth, hyphen, first word, west to east. Below this, can we say day starts in the east or west? East. There only you write, as earth rotates from west to east, hyphen, day starts in the east. Second point, day and night is 24 hours. From 66.5 degree north, to 66.5 degree south. Next, Coriolis effect. Remember, Coriolis effect is due to rotation of the earth. Coriolis effect. Next, you write revolution in tilted axis. First one, seasons. Second, length of day and night varies with revolution. Next, in the poles, day and night is due to revolution. Next, seasonal winds is due to revolution in tilted axis. Next point, right? Revolution in elliptical orbit, will have impact on temperature during summer and winter. This NCERT uses this word, isonormalous temperature. Okay, isonormalous temperature. Yes, if you have a straight line, if you have a small variation, the variation is called as anomaly. Okay, variation is called anomaly. Same way, within an isotherm, if you have any anomaly, then it is called as isonormalous. What is the meaning of this? You see, this is minus 10 degrees Celsius. Here temperature became 0 degrees Celsius. Here temperature became minus 20 degrees Celsius. Right? So within isotherm, there is little bit small variation. When there is a small variation, then it is called as what? Isonormalous. As it is more than minus 10, it is called positive anomaly. It is less, it is called negative anomaly. Word is important, isonormalous temperature. Yes, this is all about rotation and revolution from all NCERT books. Okay, one is 6th, 7th, and another one is 11th. Okay, this is very, very crucial. Now, second question that normally comes is from pressure, temperature, and radiation reflection one. Okay, yes, ma'am. Now, whenever you have an isotherm, let us say it is minus 10 degree. In minus 10 degree, one place you find 0 degree, another you find minus 20 degree. 0 degree is more than minus 10 degree. So it is called positive anomaly. Minus 20 is less than minus 10. So it is called as negative anomaly. So if a place has more than isotherm temperature, it becomes positive anomaly. If it is less than isotherm temperature, it becomes negative anomaly. Okay. So, guys, can you tell me low pressure? Okay, last year, I think 2024 prelims question was, what do you observe near mascarene high? Okay, mascarene high. Mascarene, is it a high pressure area or a low pressure area? Have you heard mascarene anywhere? Where? Do you recollect, like, Indian monsoons, Tibetan low pressure, mascarene high pressure. Okay, so what is observed in a high pressure area? So normally, this is the reason, like, some words you should have complete clarity. Right? First, you see here, if you have more number of air particles, it is high pressure. If you have less number of air particles, it is low pressure. See, high density of particles leads to high pressure. Low density of particles leads to low pressure. Now, if you have more particles, will it lead to high temperature or low temperature? Don't go by your geographical concept that high temperature leads to low pressure, low temperature leads to high pressure. That's a different concept. I'll come to that. What I'm trying to tell, in this classroom, if we have 500 people, will temperature increase or decrease? Increase. In a bus, if you have more number of people, will temperature increase or decrease? Increases. You see, high pressure, high temperature, low pressure, low temperature. Boyle's law, PV is equal to RT, P is directly proportional to T. High pressure leads to high temperature, low pressure leads to low temperature. This is what occurs anywhere in the nature. This is first point. Second, you see, wherever you have difference in the pressure, okay? See, climatology is based on this, guys. Because of misconception, entire climatology goes wrong. Logical questions you won't be able to answer if that clarity is not there, okay? So now, you tell me more number of air particles. Can we call it as high pressure? Less number of particles. What is it? Low pressure. Now, is there difference? Let me say here I have 1000 particles, here I have 800 particles. And if I try to connect both, wind will blow from where to where? High pressure to low pressure. This is called as what? Pressure gradient force. What is it? Pressure gradient force. Here you tell me now, I have 1000, same, I have 900 particles. If we try to connect these two, now 1000, high pressure, low pressure. This is also called as what? Pressure gradient force. What is the difference between first case and second case? First case, can we say difference is more? If difference is more, we normally say steep. You see, what is the word here, guys? Pressure gradient force. What is the meaning of gradient? Gradient. Gradient means slope. What is gradient? Gradient means slope. Now you tell, can I say this is steep slope? This is gentle slope. If difference is more, it is steep slope. If difference is less, what is it? Gentle slope. Now, whenever they say pressure gradient force is steeper, wind speed is more. Pressure gradient force is gentle, wind speed will be less. Are you getting the point? Now, if this is, you just make note of the words at least. Whatever you are. Clear? Okay. Now, what is the word of isobar? What is the meaning of isobar? Places joining same pressure. Okay. NCERT books, you will see diagrams like this, pressure diagrams. 1000, same area. Can you see how much is the pressure difference? 150. How much is the pressure difference? 50. Which one will be steep? Which one will be gentle? Here, how much is the pressure difference? 150. 150 pressure difference means what? Steep. 50 pressure difference means what? Gentle. Here wind speed will be fast. Yes, high. Here it will be slow. Now, my point is, what is prelims lines? Okay, in prelims they'll tell, when isobars are closely arranged, it indicates steep slope. Wind speed will be high. If isobars are distantly arranged, then it indicates gentle slope. Wind speed will be less. Are you getting the point? Same thing they'll ask. Okay, so there. You make a word. Yes. I see guys, prelims when you're preparing, mains is your language. Whatever you write makes sense. Exams biggest problem is language. Geography, most of the students get confused because of the language. Second reason, why is the cause? Especially I see a lot of students asking, so we are not aware how to answer statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. We are not able to get whether both are correct, whether both are explaining or not. Questions have not changed. You take the questions, PYQ based questions are only coming. But what is happening? They are going in depth and asking you, do you know or not? That is where students are getting confused. Okay. So all these are NCERT lines itself. But you have to understand it in the diagrammatic manner. No map in NCERT is waste. We don't understand the map. Have you seen such types? On the world map, you will have a lot of circles to explain. What is the meaning of that is what I'm trying to tell. Okay. So you write there, when isobars are closely spaced, when isobars are closely spaced, comma, it indicates steep gradient, and wind speed will be more. Next, when isobars are distantly arranged, comma, it indicates gentle slope and wind speed is less. Now guys, this word is used a lot. Adiabatic heating and cooling. This is at 23 degree. This is also at 23 degree. Now, if I heat it from outside, it will become 24 degrees Celsius. Simple. I'm heating, it becomes hot. Now, in this case, I don't want to heat, but I want to increase the temperature. What should I do? Should I compress or should I expand? Compress. Can we say wherever air compresses, what is going to happen? Temperature increases. So, in case if we compress, temperature increases. Similarly, can you tell me what should we do? Expansion. Temperature decreases. Now, what is the point? In nature, anywhere, if temperature increase or decrease without providing external heat, then it is called as adiabatic heating and cooling. Without providing external heat, if I compress or expand, temperature increase or decrease. That leads to what? That leads to what? Like, change in temperature. So, you write a word below. Without providing external heat, underline this word. Without providing external heat, if temperature increases or decreases, then it is adiabatic heating and cooling. Heating and cooling. Write these two words, guys. Compression, temperature increases. Expansion, temperature decreases. These two words are enough. Okay. Can you people tell me, if I take A and B, where will you have more air particles? Where will you have less air particles? A will have more, B will have less. That means, can I say closer to the earth, particles will be more. Away from the earth, particles will be less. Guys, you already have more number of particles here. Okay, now see here. More particles, less particles. Whenever particles from here rises, okay, rising air. If particle rises, will it expand? Because space is more, it expands, right? Wherever gaps are more, it expands. It's just like, you take air out of the tube. Air comes out and spreads. Okay. Now you tell expansion means, what is the process? Adiabatic cooling. Yes. Another aspect. Cooling means, can I say water vapor becomes water? If water vapor becomes water, clouds will be formed. Rainfall will come. So for rainfall to come, there must be rising air. What are the two words here? Air rises, there will be adiabatic cooling. The moment adiabatic cooling occurs, clouds will be formed. Clouds will give rainfall. So wherever you see adiabatic cooling, possibility of rainfall will be more. Now you take the case here. If it comes down, you tell me guys, if air comes down, can we say here, will there be expansion or compression? Compression. Compression means, what do we say? Adiabatic heating. What is happening to the air here? Fundamental concept of geography. Whenever air rises, there will be adiabatic cooling. Whenever air descends, there will be adiabatic heating. Okay, I hope you might have seen the application part of this. I'll show that. Okay, you might have seen the application part of it. If you have a mountain, wherever air rises, did we call it as windward side? Wherever air descends is called as what? Leeward side. Have you heard? Windward, leeward. Which side you will get rainfall? Windward. Which side you will not get rainfall? Leeward. What is the reason? Now you tell. Air rises. Will it cools? Cooling means what? Clouds. Will clouds give rainfall? Yes. Here what is the case? Descending. Descending means what? Adiabatic heating. Adiabatic heating means no rainfall. Adiabatic cooling means rainfall. Which side rainfall, which side no rainfall? Yes. If you have a mountain, which side you will have rainfall, which side you will not have rainfall? Windward side you will have rainfall. Correct? Leeward side you will not have rainfall. What is the reason? This is question. What is the reason? There will be adiabatic cooling on the windward side. There will be adiabatic heating on the leeward side. Okay. So here this, try to write. Two aspects here. Rising, descending. Okay. Now on the basis of this, let's see what is a low pressure area and a high pressure area. These words are important. Okay. So now first, guys, understand a basic concept. Low pressure doesn't mean high temperature, low temperature, all this. Low pressure means less number of particles. High pressure means more number of particles. Whatever situation leads to low number of particles, it is called low pressure. Whatever situation leads to more number of particles, it is called as high pressure. Now, please see here. I have land. I am not considering atmosphere. I am talking about land. Now, above the land, we have air particles. Okay. Everywhere I have some air particles. Now, this particular area got heated. That means, please understand, I am not talking about air temperature, I am talking about land surface temperature. Land has become hot. When land becomes hot, air above the land will also become hot. And what will happen to the hot air? What will happen to the hot air? Will it be there only or will it rise? Rise. Okay, now my point is, high temperature is leading to less number of particles. Less number of particles means what? Low pressure. A very simple question to you all. Please think and tell. Am I talking about earth surface temperature or am I talking about air temperature? Earth surface temperature. Last time I gave you PV is equal to RT. I am talking about air temperature, air pressure. PV is equal to RT is what? Air temperature, air pressure. Whereas here I am talking about earth temperature, air pressure. Are you getting the point? I am not talking about air temperature and air pressure. I am talking about earth surface temperature and air pressure. This is the reason in geography, we just remember high temperature leads to low pressure. But the case is you are not considering air temperature and pressure. You are considering wherever earth is hot, Above that you will have low pressure. If earth is cold, you will have high pressure. You might have heard of this. That is where the concept comes into picture. Now, my question to you. Please see. Guys, if you understand this, lot of questions would be easier. Okay. So, 100 degrees Celsius, 70 degrees Celsius, 40 degrees Celsius. I have 3 boxes. This is hot. This is cold. When I say what is 70, 70 is hotter compared to 40. 70 is cooler compared to 100. So nothing is hot or cold. Everything is relative. Right? Relative to the surroundings. Now you tell me, here I have more number of air particles. That means, can I say 1000? Here I have 1000. Let me say here I have 800. Wind will always blow from where to where? High pressure to low pressure. High pressure to low pressure. Can you tell me 2 phenomena that are occurring here? 1. What is this? Rising air. Second, what is this? Both sides air is coming together. What is the meaning of this? So wherever you have converging and rising air, you will have low pressure area. So what is a low pressure area? Tibetan low, Delhi low pressure. In Bay of Bengal, low pressure is created. In Mediterranean Sea, low pressure is created. Anywhere. What is the meaning of low pressure? Converging and rising. Wherever you have converging and rising, we call it as what? Low pressure area. But here, converging and rising is occurring because of Earth's surface temperature. As it is occurring because of Earth's surface temperature, we call this as thermally induced low pressure. What is this called as? Thermally induced low pressure. Can you please tell me, is air rising? Yes. If air rises, will it adiabatically cool? If it adiabatically cools, will it give rainfall? Yes. So, which areas do you see thermally induced low pressure giving rainfall? Yes. I'll give you few things. First, you write low pressure. I'll tell you few points. You write low pressure, hyphen, less number of air particles, less number of air particles. Second point, underline this and make it as more important. Converging and rising air. Converging and rising air. Very, very important. There only. Adiabatic cooling. You understand the word now? Adiabatic cooling. Now, 2 types. You write 2 types. First one, thermally induced low pressure. Thermally induced low pressure. Hyphen, if Earth's surface temperature is hot, if Earth's surface temperature is hot, comma, then there will be converging and rising air. Rising air. Below this, you write equator. Equator has 4 o'clock rainfall. Have you heard? Equator has 4 o'clock rainfall, and that is because of thermally induced low pressure. Have you heard of something called as convectional rainfall? That is also due to thermally induced low pressure. Okay. Then in India, summer rainfall is due to thermally induced low pressure. Summer rainfall in India is known as mango showers. Have you heard? That is due to what? Thermally induced low pressure. And whenever you have thermally induced low pressure, air rises vertically. Everyone? Air rises vertically. The moment air rises vertically, you will have vertical clouds. What are vertical clouds? Cumulus and cumulonimbus. If you have cumulonimbus, you will have lightning, thunderstorms. Lightning and thunderstorms will be there. All these words are associated with thermally induced low pressure. Imagine in the night, the moment the land becomes cooler. Can I say air doesn't rise? If air doesn't rise, no converging, no rising. That means it is gone. Okay. Last one. In this only, you write below. Tropical cyclones. Have you heard? Cyclones are two types. What are cyclones? Cyclones are low pressure will be at the center in a cyclone. Correct? So, tropical cyclone is because of thermally induced low pressure. Okay? Tropical cyclones are due to thermally induced low pressure. Yes, now you see, we have cold air, we have hot air, when cold and hot converges, which air rises? Cold air, which air rises? Hot air rises. Okay, please see here. If hot air rises, can we say number of particles will be less? That means what? Low pressure. As air keeps rising, can we say number of particles reduces? Then it becomes what? Low pressure. Now you tell, is this converging from both the sides? Is it rising? Converging and rising is called as low pressure area. Second question, is it rising because of air mixing, or is it rising because earth surface temperature? Tell me. See, I'm not talking about cold and hot as earth surface temperature. I'm talking about cold and hot as air. Air temperature we are considering here. So what is it? It is converging and rising. So this particular one is called dynamically induced low pressure. You understand the word? What is it? Dynamically induced low pressure. Irrespective of earth surface temperature, if there is converging and rising, what do we call it as? Dynamically induced. Where do you see dynamically induced low pressure? You might have heard of the term front. Have you heard? Fronts. Have you heard about temperate cyclones? Temperate cyclones. You might have heard about subpolar low pressure area. 55 to 65 in between ferrule cell and polar cell. Subpolar low pressure. In India, winter rainfall is associated with dynamically induced. I hope you are aware about a term called Western cyclonic disturbances. Okay, Western cyclonic disturbances in winter season gives rainfall and it is associated with dynamically induced low pressure. So what are the two you saw? Low pressure means, finally, what is the word it should come? Low pressure should never be associated with temperature because there are different types of low pressures. One is what? Thermally induced, another one is dynamically induced. In thermally induced, high temperature surface leads to low pressure. In dynamically induced, converging of cold and warm leads to low pressure area. Yeah, you talk about subpolar low pressure. You recollect Hadley cell, ferrule cell, polar cell. You recollect tricellular circulation. Hadley cell, ferrule cell, polar cell. In between ferrule cell and polar cell, you will have subpolar low pressure. So what is subpolar low pressure? Cold air from the poles, warm air from equator, they both mix and warm air rises. That is basically called as dynamically induced low pressure. You recollect ITCZ, everyone? Yes, ITCZ is associated with thermally induced low pressure. This is associated with dynamically induced low pressure. Okay, see, this is what I'm trying to tell. The geography questions are application based, climatology. When it comes to Indian geography and all, it's factual, map based. This is where application comes. That's why majority of the students lose. Okay, so you get this, where what is being used, terms. Now, guys, what is high pressure? Can you tell me now? What is high pressure? Less number of particles or more number of particles? So, you should have more particles or more density. Try now. Land is very cold. If land is cold, air above the land will become cooler. And what will happen to the cold air, guys? Descends. What is this called as? Descending air. If air descends, number of particles increases. So what will happen if the number of particles increases? Yes. Can I say more number of particles means high pressure? What is this phenomena? Can you try now? What is happening here? What is happening here? Air is descending and diverging. Can we say descending means adiabatic heating? Adiabatic heating doesn't give rainfall. Okay, which one will give rainfall? Adiabatic cooling. So this is associated with Earth's temperature So it is thermally induced high pressure. Yes. Now, in case if you have cold air, irrespective of Earth's surface temperature, if you have cold air comes down. After coming, cold air diverges. So if cold air is coming down and if it is diverging, it is dynamically induced high pressure. Prelims, anywhere, if they give you, what do you observe in high pressure area? Whether it is Tibetan high pressure, masculine high pressure, doesn't matter. What do you observe in a high pressure area? What do you say? No, what do you say? Descending and diverging. Wherever you have low pressure, what will be the phenomena? Converging and rising. Now you tell me, cyclones are low pressure areas. So what will be there in cyclones? Converging and rising. Anticyclones are high pressure areas. So what will be there in anticyclones? Descending and diverging. Are you getting the point? Now, when you have these, see guys, poles, near poles, can we say glaciers will be there? If glaciers are there, we will have thermally induced high pressure. In India, where will you have this phenomena? Ladakh. Ladakh comes under thermally induced high pressure. Now you take the case subtropical high pressure. You might have heard of something called Hadley Cell and Ferrel Cell. In between Hadley Cell and Ferrel Cell, you will have subtropical high pressure. This is dynamically induced high pressure. This is the reason you get tropical deserts. CAPF exam, they ask the question, deserts, will it have high temperature near the surface or low temperature? Sahara desert, Arabian desert, will you have high temperature or low temperature? High temperature. If you have high temperature, then it must normally lead to rainfall, convectional rainfall. Yes. Then why do you have deserts there? The reason is it has dynamically induced high pressure. Okay. It has dynamically induced high pressure. Words are important. Okay. So last, rising air is adiabatic cooling. Descending air is adiabatic heating. Cooling gives rainfall, heating doesn't give rainfall. After that, we have two types of pressures, low pressure, high pressure. Whenever difference between high pressure and low pressure is more, steep gradient, wind speed will be higher. Have you heard something called cyclone becoming super cyclone? What is cyclone becoming super cyclone? That is gentle to steep. Whenever it becomes steep, then it is called as what? Super cyclone. Have you heard La Nina? Yes, La Nina is also steep gradient. Okay. And then we also talk about gentle gradient wherever difference is less. I spoke with respect to isobars. If isobars are closely arranged, it indicates what? Steep or gentle? Steep. If isobars are distantly placed, what does it indicate? Gentle. Cyclones, isobars will be closely arranged. Okay, normal areas, isobars will be distantly arranged. Terms. Fine. So, I hope you got. Take 5 minutes break. We'll see the other part.